Okay, so in the previous videos we have added these 4 enemies, as you can see. Now what we can do is to add all of these 4 enemies inside a object by the name of enemies. Let's select all 4 of them and drag and drop them in there, okay, so that our hierarchy is clear. So we have now the enemies. Okay, you can duplicate how many enemies you want. For example, I will duplicate 2 more, but I will not tell you that because I have already tell you this in the previous 2 videos. You now know how to duplicate enemies. Now this video is all about the player teammates. Okay, so for that, if we go right here, our enemy teammates will come from this position. Okay, the player will have just 2 teammates. Okay, for now. So let's go ahead and actually duplicate this spawn point, and let's move that spawn point from there to here. Now let's check it. Different spawn points. There is the first one, second, the third one should be right up there, and fourth one, fifth one should be right here, then the sixth, it should be right there. That's it. This is the player spawn points. Okay, the player teammate spawn points. Okay, so now there is our player. Now right here we will add the player teammate. So if we click on enemy PBR military pack, actually go inside soldier one prefab, there are, as you can see, different enemies, sorry, player teammates. So drag and drop one teammate. Okay, let's click on prefab, unpack completely. Let's make a parent game object. Let's name this as player AI. Okay, and then this is the body. Let's copy this component, paste this right here on this main thing. Okay, and then remove that from there, and let's remove this controller as well. Whoops, remove this controller just. Okay, so now we have the player AI right there. Now it needs a AI script. Okay, so go inside scripts right here. Let's create a C# script by the name of player AI. Press enter, double click on it. There is the script. Remove the start and update function, then click on enemy. And since our player AI will be similar to the enemy, so we can just go ahead and copy all of this. Okay, just the functions inside the class, okay, this enemy class, and paste it right here. Now we just need to change the variables. So let's change every enemy word in here. So click on change all occurrence and change enemy to player. Okay, that's it. After changing that, as you can see, now we have player agent, and then player health, player speed, player things, player shooting variables, etc, etc. So everything is now changed to player. Now let's change this function name. So click on this change all occurrence, and let's change this function name to pursue enemy. Okay, and actually let's make the E capital, pursue enemy, and let's change it right there as well. So guys, if you are using Visual Studio Code, then you will have this option. If you are using then any text editor, then make sure that you find this option in that text editor if it is available, or else you can use Visual Studio Code, which makes our work a lot more easier. Okay, so now as you can see, everything is changed up, player agent, and now let's change this function name to shoot enemy. As you can see, it is changed right there as well. And also now after the function, let's change few variable names. So change this from player to enemy in vision radius, and change this from this to enemy. Okay, and right here we don't need this, so let's remove that. Okay, there's all of the functions, the animations are already there. Then we have the player hit damage. Okay, then we have the respawn. Everything else is perfectly fine. Let's change this function name to pursue enemy because it was being changed right here to capital E. Okay, now everything work is pretty much fine. And now if we click on enemy, okay, right here when the enemy shoots player, now we want the enemy to shoot the enemy AI as well. So for that, let's add a reference. So we will say player AI, which is the class name, and let's name this as player body. This will be equals to hit dot transform dot get component, and the component will be the player AI script. Okay, so now guys, you will be thinking that this is also player body and this is this one as well, and then you will be thinking that yes, this will give out an error to us. So because of this we created this as player. Okay, so now we will tell right here to the enemy that if he is shooting the player, okay, so the his player is set to true, then what we will do, we will actually close that in brackets. Let's move it up there and right down below copy this if condition and paste it after that right there. Okay, so now if it is the player, then it will shoot the player, and now else if it is not the player, then it means that it is the enemy AI. So let's just cut that from there. Whoops, paste it in there, and now we will do the same as we did for the player body up there. Okay, like that. But we need to change this function name to, where is it, it is respawn, no, it is player head damage. Let's change this to player AI head damage. Okay, let's actually change our occurrence to player AI. Okay, make sure to change it right there as well. Now in the enemy, let's change this to player AI head damage. That's it. Right here, make sure that the P is capital. Okay, so now the enemy will know the difference between the player and the player AI. Okay, if we check it out right here, okay, it shows this error, but don't worry, we will fix that. If we come back to the player AI right here, we just want this player AI to shoot enemy. Okay, so for that, let's remove all of this. Okay, go to the rifle script and copy that from there, paste it right there, and then paste this else if block and paste it right down below, and just move this forward. Okay, it is set, I think, like this. Okay, so now the player AI will also now shoot the enemy. For now, let's remove this effect from there because we don't want that. So now the player AI is all set up. It can now damage the enemy, okay, and the enemy can damage the player AI. So now we need to add animation to our player AI. Let me remove this else from there first of all. And since this is hit, so just change this to hit as well. And then right here, let's click on project, then PBR military pack, go in the animation folder. Let's create a new animator controller and let's name this as player AI. And in the player AI, let's create a parameter by the name of running. Then let's create another parameter by the name of shooting, and then the next one will be die. Let's move this right there, this one there, and this one right there. Now let's find the animation. So the first one will be aiming idle for shooting, okay, so find aiming idle. This will be for shooting. And for running, let's find aim run. There it is. This one will be the default. Then this one will be for the shooting. So yeah, this to shoot, this one is run, and now we need the die. So let's drag and drop the data right there. Make a transition from here to there, then from shoot to run, then from shoot to dead, run from dead, and then from dead back to run. Remove as exact time 0, and right here we will make shooting true, and then select the other one, make running true. Guys, this animator is similar to the enemy animator, okay. Right here make die true, and then right there make running true. Select this one, okay, this one, and then make die true. That's it. We are all set up. This is the animator. Click on enemy AI and drag and drop the animator right there. After this, let's add the script. So in the scripts, drag and drop, move up, and now first of all drag the animator in there. Then we need to add the deathmatch agent to this. Turn on gizmos and drag and drop the deathmatch agent there. Add the capsule collider, make this as 1 and height 2. That's it. After this, make the time between shoot as 2, or actually 4. Okay, then it needs the spawn point. So which spawn point is closer to this one? Okay, second one. So let's add the second spawn point right there. Then it needs the reference to the player AI transform. Do that. Then it needs the look point. So now our player AI 1 will shoot this enemy AI 1. Okay, so in there create a empty game object. Let me close the body. Okay, I think it was created inside there. Let's remove that actually. And in the enemies, enemy 1, create empty game object. Let's name this as look point enemy. Okay, click on player AI1. Let's attach that look point right there. Then click on player AI empty game object. This will be the shooting area recast, and also make a look point in the enemy AI as well. move the shooting ray cast up there and then forward, click on there and drag and drop the shooting area ray cast and then the player AI transform, sorry, the player AI body. Okay, that's it. Now this player will actually kills the enemy, but right here if you see it shows that player body and player layer. We don't want player body, player layer. We want this to be enemy body and enemy layer. So in the enemy AI, let's go right there. This should be changed to enemy actually. So enemy body and then this one to enemy layer. That's it. Now let's get back. Let's assign the enemy body 1 there and then the enemy layer. That's it. Now this enemy will kill the enemy one. Okay, this player. Make the vision radius 100, make the shooting radius 10 or actually 15. Let's play the game. Let's go inside scene view. Okay, it animation should be changed to loop time. So click on there one, loop time, and also loop pause, shoot, loop time. That's it. And then dead will be not in loop time. Let's play it again. Let's go inside the scene view. There is the player. Okay, he is not moving because I think the enemy is outside the zone. Let's actually make the zone of the enemies as 5000 and the player as 5000 as well, so that it covers the whole map. Okay, why the player is not moving, man? Come on, there is player. Let's come right there. As you can see, it shows that shooting enemy. It shoot the enemy once. Okay, and the reason our player was not moving is we didn't change the player speed. So let's make this player speed as 3. Now let's start the game again. Now he still can't move. As you can see right here, it shows that there is no enemy in vision radius and nor in shooting radius. And guys, the reason the enemy is not being searched by our player AI is because if we select all of our enemies, they didn't have the tag and also the layer. So let's add the tag and the layer, okay, like that. And then this enemy will now kill that first enemy, and also we want that enemy to kill this first player. Okay, so click on that enemy and assign this player AI body right there. That's it. Now click on this player AI one and tag them this one as player and also change its layer to player as well, so that the enemies can also identify our player AI. Now let's just play the game. Okay, as you can see now our player is moving. As you can see, he is now moving. perfectly fine. And there are the enemies. Let's run to this point. Okay, there they are. Let's actually make the player AI shooting radius as 10. Okay, and also let's make some changes in our environment as well. We don't want these walls right here, so let's just simply delete these walls and these containers as well. Oops. Okay, yes, we want to delete that as well. Let's remove that from there. That's it. Now it looks good like this. Now let's simply close down the environment, the enemies as well. And actually let me just for now deactivate the other enemies, and let's see the fight between the enemy 1 and the player AI 1. This video is getting a little bit more bigger, so we will have to cut this. Okay, now as you can see, this enemy is still shooting us. I don't know why. Now as you can see, the player shoots that enemy as you saw it, and now that enemy is respawn right there where it is. Okay, it was somewhere right there in the air, and that was due to the spawn points. So make sure that your spawn points are on the ground. Okay guys, and the reason the enemy was shooting us is because of the look point. So to the enemy 1, add the player AI look point. Okay, so right here in the look point, add that one, then it will follow the player AI, and also look at the player AI. That's it. Let's focus up on the spawn point like that. Put it down below, select the other ones and move them down below to the ground, actually like that. Let's play the game again. There is our player AI, there is the enemy AI, and now as you can see they are fighting at each other. And now let's see who will die. As you can see, the enemy AI is dead, and after 5 seconds the enemy AI has been respawned right there. Okay, there it is. And why these two are not moving? Let's click on this. Let's remove the vision radius to 1, and let's check it out again. I don't know why they are a lot more far away from each other, but it still shows that they are in range. I don't know why, for what reason. Let's see this. It is correct. Let's see the enemy. Okay, guys, the reason behind that problem, if we see on our enemy 1, as you can see, the enemy character is the body transform. So whenever the enemy player respawn, then it just respawn this body of the player in the spawn area. Okay, we don't want that, we want this whole enemy body to be respawned. So just drag and drop the enemy body. Okay, and it is already enemy 2, enemy 3, and as you can see it is just 3. So in the enemy character, add the enemy 4. If you check it right here, it is all right. I don't know why, how we did that mistake, but now you know that you will have to add the specific enemy body right here in the enemy character. So now let's just play with all of the enemies in it. Now you will notice that there are the enemies. Our player is coming. Yes, he is. There is the enemy. Now let's try to shoot that one. He's dead now. As you can see, they both are shooting at each other. Okay, it kills our enemy. Our player will be respawned. Don't worry about that. Okay, he will be respawned from there. Okay, there he is. He is being respawned, and now they will shoot each other again. You will notice, as you can see, and the other enemies are also shooting at me and shooting at my other player. Okay, so this is working, I think, fine. And now we need to make more player AIs, so for that catch you guys in the next one.